So in this video, we are going to look at section 9.2, which is on solving systems of equations by substitution. So we did by graphing in 9.1, and now we're going to look at a second way to solve a system equation, which is by using a method called substitution. Okay. This method is easiest to use when one variable is already solved for. Okay, so it's already completely by itself on one side of the equation. And it's called a lone variable. And it is a variable by itself on one side of the equation. So the steps for solving a system by substitution. So first we solve one of the equations for a variable. So you can either solve for X or Y. We usually pick the one that's easier to solve for. And then we substitute what we get, which is called an expression. So the resulting expression into the other equation. So we solve for one variable, we get that, we substitute what it's equal to into the other equation. And then we solve this new equation, if it's possible. And then we substitute the answer into one of the original equations to find the value of the other variable. And the last thing is we should always check the solution in both of the original equations. Okay. So we're going to start kind of easy and then work up from there. So for our first example, we want to solve the following systems using the substitution method. So we have two equations, 2x plus 8y equals 20, and the second equation, y equals 2. So since we already know y equals 2, y is already that lone variable, and we want to pick this equation, and we don't have to do step 1 because y is already by itself. So then what we do is we substitute what y equals, which is 2, into this equation. So instead of y, we put 2. And what should always happen is now I only have one variable, so I can solve this equation. So we solve it, we first multiply. 8 times 2 is 16. Then to move it to the other side, we subtract 16 from both sides. So we get 2x equals 4. And then we divide both sides by 2, and we get x equals 2. Okay. And so we know x is 2, y is 2. And again, we can always write our solution as a point. X is 2, y is 2. So this is my solution to this system of equation. Okay, and we can check it by substituting it back in. So to check it, we would do 2 times, we would replace x with 2, plus 8 times, we replace y with 2, and we would see, does it equal 20? And we get 4 plus 8 times 2 is 16, and 4 plus 16 is 20. And so it works. Okay, and then we should check it in both. So we plug 2 in for the second equation for y, 2 equals 2, so we're good. Okay, so my solution is 2, 2. Now, most of the time, it's not just going to be y equals a number, x equals number. It's going to be y equals an expression which has a variable x in it. Okay, so this is our second example. We have 5x minus 2y equals 3, and we have y equals 2x. So it's a system of equations. We have two equations, two variables. And what we're gonna do is we have a lone variable. We have y by itself. And so this is our equation that we're gonna use. Step 1 is already done. And so we're gonna do step 2. And step 2, if you look back, says substitute the resulting expression into the other equation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace this y with what it's equal to, which is 2x. So we're gonna have 5x, that doesn't change, minus 2. And instead of writing y, we're gonna substitute it in with 2x because y is equal to 2x. Same as if y was equal to 2. We just replace it with what y equals 3. And what should always happen is that we get an equation with just one variable. So the one variable is x. And now I can solve this. So I have 5x. 2 times 2x is 4x equals 3. And then 5 minus 4x is just 1x or x. And so x equals 3. So for this problem, we always have to know x and y. So we have x equals 3. To find y, we're going to plug 3 back into one of the equations. You can do either equation, but y equals 2x is easier because y is already by itself, and that's what I'm trying to find. So I can just substitute in the 3 for x, and then simplify. 2 times 3 is 6. And now I got y equals 6. And so my solution is the point. Okay, again, it's x comma y. So 3, 6. And we can always check it. So this again is just an extra check. It's not part of the answer by plugging our point into the original equations. And I have to plug it into both. So my first equation, I'm going to have 5 times 3. X is 3 minus 2 times 6 equals 3. Okay, so 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 6 is 12. And 15 minus 12 is 3. So that one works. And then my second equation is y equals 2x. Y is 6. X is 3. So I'm going to substitute it in there. And I get 6 equals 6. And that works. So that's an introduction. There'll be more examples to come on the next videos, but that's an introduction to substitution.